Hello and welcome. I'm Eric Speakman, and this is my presentation on cannabis and cannabinoids as a treatment alternative. All right. My nonprofit is Veterans Cannabis Project, and it's advocating to push alternatives to prescription medications. All right. Cannabis in modern medicine is vastly underutilized, and there are new ways in which people are discovering that it can be used to help people and help with conditions that are affecting them. And the slide here shows a number of ways in which people are figuring out new ways cannabis can and or parts of cannabis can be helpful. All right, so problems. Cannabis and cannabinoids have been demonized due to stigmas. Cannabinoids have been shown to be effective treatments for neurological and mental health problems and are an alternative to opioids. Current treatment options, including the ones offered by the VA, include parallels to therapy, including prescriptions that are handed out like candy. Mental health problems and homelessness, unfortunately, also go hand in hand. It's a chicken or egg uh, situation. All right, demonization and stigmas. In 1937, cannabis was illegalized. In 1971, thanks to Nixon, cannabis was placed as a Schedule 1 substance, meaning it was extremely addictive. Cannabis also was labeled by the church as sinful in nature. Labels against those that have been popularized include such things as stoners and potheads, to name a few. So, cannabis has been shown to be an effective treatment for neurological and mental health problems. This includes CBD and other parts of the plant, not just the THC. All right. So, the neurological problems that have been touched on and looked into include, but are not and limited to, neurological inflammatory events that are a part of integral to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, and from strokes. And cannabinoids have been shown to help alleviate and treat issues stemming from traumatic brain injury and concussions. Unfortunately, as mentioned there at the bottom, due to federal regulations and restrictions, the advances in medicine using such things as THC and cannabis have been extremely limited due to it being illegal federally. All right. So, one of the things that the VA and other places like to do is sling prescriptions. I decided to go a different track rather than just covering opioids for this. I wanted to touch on acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is touched in, as the picture shows, cough medicine, allergy meds, Tylenol. Even it's used for strained muscles. So you get a lot of it in, and it's an active ingredient in ibuprofen. Unfortunately, that takes a toll on the liver. It it can actually affect and hit the liver enzymes harder than drinking. Drinking, even heavy drinking, you may experience problems 5 years down the road to 20, not including the accidental overdose, which we'll touch on as well. With acetaminophen, however, that timeline is bumped up from 2 to 4 years. And unfortunately, this is something I've actually ran into and experienced personally, where my liver enzymes were through the chart due to being on ibuprofen for an extended period of time. In the U.S. alone, there's 1,600 active or 1,600 cases of acute liver failure, meaning people have died from accidental overdosing. So, say normal day, allergies are bad. Taking that allergy medication, rough workout at the gym, not paying attention. There's another couple of pills, boom, you're at the maximum limit, recommended limit. You get a migraine, boom. That's even more acetaminophen. You can kind of see where it snowballs and really can hurt you fast if you're not careful. Then, that's not to also adding alcohol can just double down on the problem. And unfortunately, it doesn't infect just adults. It's in kids' products as well, as showed by the picture. All right. This is a rough one. These pictures are from the music video from Five Finger Death Punch, The Wrong Side of Heaven. And they really hit on homelessness, which is why I included parts of their videos. I mean, you can see here where mental health problems stemming from service, including but not limited to PTSD, brain damage from explosions, vehicle rollovers, you name it. Here you can see, just to hit the highlights, 300,000 homeless veterans are living on the street, and this was done from a while ago. 460,000 veterans suffer from PTSD. You can see here, while you're watching this, somewhere a veteran isn't getting help. Because the VA, they can't handle all the veterans from the OIF and OEF and Afghanistan. One of the roughest facts that they included, every 2 hours, a veteran commits suicide by their own hands due to mental health issues, PTSD, depression, you name it. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, but I wanted to hit it. All right. Barriers. The FDA refuses to lower cannabis to a lower scheduled. Bad press and stigmas. Big Pharma's monopoly on medications and padding their pockets. All right. This is a list of Scheduled 1 drugs to include, but not limited to, as you can see, heroin, LSD, peyote, which is actually used religiously. Go figure, more racist allegations. Let's see. Schedule 2 drugs. This is even better. Fentanyl, Adderall, Ritalin, methadone, cocaine. This is Schedule 2. Well, Schedule 1, as I notated here, there's it's believed by the DEA that there's no accepted medical use, and there's a high potential for abuse. Bad press and stigmas. This is one of the advocacy and remake from Reefer Madness, a fear-mongering campaign done to promote racism and xenophobia against people of color to push their agenda. Also, from the Mexican American War, go figure, more racism, bigotry, and things of that nature. They all accumulated in being pushed towards outlawing cannabis in 1937 after a failed attempt at prohibition from the moral majority, which brings us to also Christianity condemning cannabis because of a perceived immoral and sinful nature. All right, big pharma. I use this, but I'm pretty sure we can agree that pharmaceutical companies, they make a lot of money off of opioids and drugs that are pushed. Unfortunately, they end up bankrupting people who are just seeking help. I'm not going to touch too much more on that. All right, solutions. Cannabis and cannabinoids offer an alternative to opioids and other medications. They can help with problems that arise from brain damage. And how can you help, and why does it matter to you? All right. So, cannabis and THC, CBD can help with insomnia, sleep loss, migraines, anxiety, irritability, depression. And all of these, a lot of people face and have to deal with. Whether that's just insomnia, can't sleep, anxiety, depression. Hey, midterms, right? Being able to have that alternative to going to the doctor, getting those prescription medications would be a great help. Uh, they already touched on that. There are also veteran companies out there that are providing CBD products and THC variants as well in states that allow THC use. All right, there again. Um, Cannabinoids have been showed to offer improvements in TBIs, which is something a lot of people that really need and want, especially after you get to a certain point after suffering a TBI. Once you get to that stable state, unfortunately, you're on your own with little alternatives. There again, possible side effects from suffering a traumatic brain injury can range from tinnitus, a ringing in the ears, to sleep loss, insomnia, migraines, light sensitivity, anxiety, irritability, depression. Unfortunately, that goes hand in hand with other things and feeds into a vicious cycle. All right, I included this side to really bring home why does it matter. We're Buckeyes. We have very popular sports program. Whether you support the football program, whether you support a wrestling program, whether you support the hockey program or others, there comes risks and engaging in sports. In this, from a study from 2017, it showed during their study period that there was 10,500 concussions during that time. Of that number, 3,400 occurred from college football. That means 3,400 people that played in the NCAA are now struggling due to having received concussions. As I mentioned student athletes are incredibly at risk. But also, the average person, your roommate, family members, friends, can suffer a concussion, blow to the head, fall from a motor scooter, zooming around campus to get to class at any time. Now, those may be low grade concussions, but those can add up just as much as more moderate concussions to extensive. Or you happen to be driving, someone runs a red light. Anyway, bad things happen to good people, and having options matters. All right, can make a difference. As I mentioned before, cannabis was made illegal due to racism, which cannibalized and hurt people. It also pushed the prison program after the Civil War and slavery was ended. Hence the one movie that just, yeah, really hurt people of color. For those in the medical fields, push the bounds. Look for alternatives to opioids, to acetaminophen, and other things. Vote. Make good decisions. And if you can, spare a few dollars, by all means, and please uh, donate to the Veterans Cannabis Project. All right. As I mentioned, and I already touched on these, so I'm not gonna hit them. Just make good decisions. Help out your neighbors. Help out yourself, just in case. Look for safe alternatives. All right. Well, thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed my presentation. And I look forward to the feedback.